Welcome to the Husband's Coach's Corner, the podcast that teaches husbands how to love their wife every day and become better men in the process. I'm your host, Chris Scott, aka the Husband Coach. All right, welcome back to the Husband Coach's Corner, where we're in part 3 of How Do I See My Wife. The show is recorded and released on YouTube, so if you want to catch up on all of the videos, you can go straight over to YouTube at the Husband Coach, and then you'll be able to see all of these videos titled How Do I See My Wife. Let's go ahead and get into part 3. First question for today. What is my wife's favorite thing to do in the house? All right. This is a white belt question. You're learning, you're observing, and you have to ask your wife, hey, what is the thing that you really enjoy doing? Or you could just observe her and see like, oh, she really enjoys cooking. Or, hey, she really enjoys painting. Or she really enjoys writing. She really enjoys getting on the internet, looking at YouTube, whatever. All right? Pay attention to it, write it down. Focus in on what those things are. Question number 2. Where does my wife spend the most time in our home? There's a location in every single house where your wife is going to spend time. Everyone, like wherever she spends the most time. This should be pretty simple. You can write it down, and you can even rank order these, right? I know that my wife likes to spend time in the dining room because that's where I'm at right now. And we homeschool, so she spends a lot of time here preparing for the school week or the school day or whatever. And then she also spends a lot of time here when she paints. She's an artist. If you look back there, my wife painted a majority of those. My kids had something to do, or, they painted a few of them, but a majority of those that are back there, my wife painted. So this is one of the places that she spends a lot of time. And then her second most favorite place is chilling out in our bedroom, laying in the bed, watching TV, searching things on her phone, reading articles, things like that. So I know the two most favorite places, or the two places that my wife spends the most of her time, terrible English. The two places that my wife spends most of her time. There we go. But it's important that you identify this because you want to meet her in those locations, and you also want to safeguard them. I am like my wife's bodyguard to my kids at times when they always want mommy, and they're older now. So it's actually kind of interesting that they just always want to be around their mom and talk to her. If my wife doesn't get an opportunity to recharge and build up energy, that is going to hinder our relationship. So instead, what I do is, I talk to the kids and say, hey, no, your mom needs her time. For herself, she needs it. But for our relationship, I need her to have it. So you want to safeguard those places and the things that she does. All right. That's why we're asking what's her favorite thing to do and where does she spend time at. So you as the husband can safeguard it if need be. Or enhance it if need be, right? If she has like her own personal room and office or something, maybe you can get her something that goes on her desk that will always remind her that she has a husband that loves her. There's all kinds of opportunities with that. But the last question for today, what is my wife great at? Now, my wife will tell you she's not an artist or she's not a painter. And, I have a wall back there that says otherwise. If you were to ask me, I would say she's great at painting. The reason why I bring that up is because my wife is a little modest about when I say she's an artist or a painter. She doesn't like it when I say that to other people. But what I'm doing when I tell other people that my wife is great at this, right? Hold on, let me back up. You want to identify what your wife is great at because these become affirmations in front of other people. Right? And obviously you want your wife to know that you're coming from a place of love and support. So don't say that, your wife is great at yelling and then affirm that to other people. That is a terrible idea. But when I tell people, family, friends, acquaintances, like, oh yeah, Crystal, she paints. She's an artist and she's a really good one. I say that in front of my wife to other people, and I also say that when my wife isn't present to other people. What that does is it builds confidence that you see something she does, you take value in it, and you are so happy, or you support her enough to share that with other people. And that's exactly what I do. I affirm my wife in front of other people about the things that I know she does really good on, and she just doesn't see it the same way, because for some reason there's a ton of artists who don't really feel their work. They think that it's not that good. All I'm saying is find something that your wife is great at and continuously affirm her in front of other people about that thing. It will set off your marriage in a way that she feels loved and connected. All right. Well, that concludes the episode for today. Thank you for listening in. If you're finding value in the Husband Coach's Corner, please leave the show a review. It just helps get a little bit of exposure. If there's things that you think I can do better, please leave that in the review as well. If you have questions, you can hit me up on the email at husbandcoach2020@gmail.com. That's husbandcoach2020@gmail.com. That email address is also in the show notes or the show description. You can also find me on YouTube at The Husband Coach. Well, until the next time, keep finding ways to love your wife every day.